Hello, everyone. Welcome to the College Charles podcast. I hope you're good. This is your boy Teboga again. College Charles on X, if you know me, guys. It's going to lead up this week. According to several sources, it's like Chelsea are going to sign Hugo Ekitike. Even Gittings also. We have Garrett Braithwaite. So a lot of things are happening, especially this morning. There are several latest news from likes of Fabrizio Romano, Ben Jacobs, even Jacob Stanback. So as you always, if you're new, please kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the like button. Thank you very much, guys. I've just hit 900 subscribers. So get me closer, guys, to 1,000 subscribers. I'll appreciate it. So let me do this quickly then, so that before we go on and on, I would like to share the link to my boys to get their thoughts about the game. Where's that guy now? I want to share Anop. I told Anop I'm going to do a stream, so there's no way that I want to send a link to Anopa. Man, where's he? Where's Anopa? Okay, this Anopa. Okay, I'm done, guys. So as always, if you're new, please kindly subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. So let's go straight into it, guys, because we have a lot of things to cover, right? I'm going to start with this one. So why my screen shows this way? Like, really? Yeah, this is much better. So according to Sacha Tavaleri, says Chelsea Football Club working and getting first as priority before playing FIFA Club World Cup, and a new left winger, Jamie Gittings, has always been a serious target for Chelsea, but CFC explore also other profiles. Wait and see. 100%, 100%. Give me your thoughts, guys, in the comment. What do you think about this transfer news? Do you think we should sign Jimmy Gittings? Give me your thoughts, guys. Give me your thoughts, guys. What do you think? Personally, like I said, on the Chelsea perspective, I think this kid is good, but again, it's very, very important. It's very, very important to see what's going to happen. As much as I like him, I think we should explore another move. Also, you have some news about Sancho staying or leaving. You're getting to get to that, guys. So if you're new, as always, please kindly like and subscribe to the channel. Give me your thoughts about this, because I'm going to wait for other people to give me their thoughts as well. So let me do this. As always, guys, welcome to the Collections Podcast. Please kindly subscribe and give me your thoughts about what is happening in Chelsea. Which players would you like the club to sign? Even though we know we can't sign everyone that we all want, right? And also another thing, we're going to be linked with several players. So we are going to see what is going to happen. But according to Sacha Tavaler, it seems like Jimmy Gittings is one to watch. because we had several links in the morning about this boy. So I'm gonna start here. We had Jacob Sternberg in the morning. Actually, was not Stempe. Pick up, Anopa, pick up, bro. I've sent you the link. So if you are free, you are most like welcome, bro. I've sent you the link on your DM. So I don't know if you got it. If you haven't, let me know. Pick up, bro. And also, I remember I told you we're going to do the season review, but I wanted to talk about the transfer window first because a lot of things are happening, and I can't avoid that. All right, I'll join Ralph. Thanks. Yeah, big up, bro. I appreciate it. Guys, if you're watching, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, let me check where I've sent the link to Anopa. Yeah, send it. So no need to worry. Here is. Big up, Anopa. Big up, bro. How are you?
Big ups to Boko. I'm good in yourself. Can you hear me?
100%, bro. 100%.
Perfect. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm great, thank you. Very good.
Yeah, it seems like from now until the 10th, we're going to get a lot of Chelsea news because most clubs seems like they want to do their work before the Club World Cup starts. So, yeah, man, it's going to be lit. But hopefully we sign the right profiles. That's the main thing. Hopefully we sign the right profiles.
I love how you're saying that when I'm looking at what's on your screen right now, and I'm already. It's not even. What do you think about Gittins? Are you one of the people who wants him? You don't want him? What's your thoughts about Gittins?
Like personally, in terms of left winger, my first one is always Nico Williams, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mind Jimmy Gittins because he's skillful and he's a goal scoring winger, which we want at the moment, especially on the left hand side. On the right hand side, we can say Noni sometimes doing that, even Nate sometimes, but also they are not they drop off their form. But on the left hand side, Sanchez is doing that, but is he doing enough? I don't think so. So Gittins is there, but again, he's still a kid, and like I said, on the Chelsea perspective, as much as we want to sign experienced players, we all know that our sporting directors, the owners, won't change their blueprint. So as much as we want other targets, I don't think Chelsea will sign experienced players that we want. I don't think so, bro. So what are your thoughts about it before reading me reading the tweets there?
You know what? I remember the beginning of the season when you're scoring goals. I was watching lots of Champions League highlights, and you're scoring quite a lot of goals in the Champions League for Dortmund. And I like what I saw. But I don't know. I saw someone's compilation a few minutes ago about Gittins' last 40 shots. And I was not impressed, I was not impressed. I know you shouldn't look at those compilations, but my goodness, this guy, he just shoots sometimes for the sake of shooting. And I know we actually need wingers who can shoot, right? But not like that.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, man. I don't think I'd be happy with the signing. It could be one of those like that I underestimate. Then he could, be a good player. But I don't know, man. Like I'd rather someone else, if I'm being honest with you. I just something about buying from that Bundesliga is just scaring me. I don't know when the last time we had a success from that league was. Havertz, Werner, Sancho, Nkunku. I mean, I'm tired. Can we shop somewhere else? Let's go to League One or somewhere. I'm just too traumatized from that league. That's the only thing. That's my only problem.
Yeah, I understand you, bro. But at the same time, what can you say, right?
Yeah, I get you. But let me ask you: do you think if I had to give you an option to keep Sancho or buy Gittins, what are you picking?
For me, even I always says this. I want us to keep Sancho, but at the same time, I think it's very important for him to agree with our wage structure at the moment. If he doesn't want to do that, I think it's best to go for an alternative. That's my own opinion. But Sancho, for me, then 5 million, bro, and we have a better striker that we can link up with him. I think with Sancho we are good. But the main issue right now, right, at Manchester United there was any 200 or 250. So Chelsea can't pay him that. Unless maybe likes of Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Kopama are earning those kind of money. But right now, I don't want that. That's the issue at the moment. So what are your thoughts about it?
No, I agree with you 100%. I mean, for me, he only stays if he agrees with the wage structure. Unfortunately, if we've done this to make it, I mean, I kind of it's a weird thing because at first I didn't like this wage structure because I remember when we tried to negotiate for Osman last, was it, I don't know which window was it? Was it last summer? Last summer
Yeah,
window, right?
last
Yeah,
summer, at the
and there was
end.
a bit of yeah, it was a bit of issues with the wages, and so I didn't like it in that aspect. But in terms of the whole squad and keeping it in unity, I like that. You know, you should only get a contract increase if you perform. Like you see with Caicedo, he was player of the season, so you know you can get a upgrade on your salary. That's how it should be. So I like it in that aspect. But yeah, 100% for Sancho, he needs to agree to what they tell him. If he doesn't, then he can gladly go. I won't be too bothered. But I'd also like him to stay. Um, yeah, I mean, look, let's see. From the reports, it looks like Gittins. It's gonna be. It looks like this is gonna happen, eh? It looks like it's something that's very close to happening. So let's see how it plays out. I mean, you it's too. I don't want to judge too early because I haven't watched too much of the Bundesliga. Like I said, I watched compilations, but I was not
Yeah,
too. You know, that's what I tried to say.
yeah, I agree with you. The way you said you don't want to judge earlier. I remember last summer, I was crashing on our sporting directors for trying to sign Samuel Modrion, even John Duran. Guess what happened? They did very well at their respective clubs, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my god, I think I should stop complaining. Let me see what is going to happen." So, in terms of this one, like I said, I think he's a good winger, but the issue is that he's still young, so he needs maybe 1 or 2 seasons to develop. But at the same time, I remember Enzo Maresca had Fatawa. If you know Fatawa, who was playing for Leicester City, he was very well. Unfortunately, he had an injury at the end of the close to the end of the season, but he was so good, and also he made Mavididi uh, a good winger at Leicester City. So let's give them benefit of the doubt. So we have Richie Moneymaker says, "Pick up the legend. Jerry Sanchez want to stay. Noni Maroke has to show something in the Club World Cup. There are a lot of raw with the sporting director and the owners, according to my trusted source. Big up, bro. Big up, bro. Like you said, Noni Maroke, to be honest, bro, I was so frustrated against Real Betis. Noni Madueke, Neto, they were rubbish. As much as we won the game, they were horrible. That's the issue. They are not consistent, and I think we need consistent. We used to have Hazard, William, Pedro Neto. Those guys were consistent, bro. So at the moment right now, these players that are signing are not consistent. But as much as we butcher them here, when we win games or win major trophies, we're going to praise the whole team. So overall, big up to them. They played their role to us winning the Conference League, even winning getting the top 4 spot. So yeah, man. But again, we need experience. But will Chelsea do that? I don't think so. This is the issue I have. But I don't want Rafael Leon at Chelsea. Rafael Leon for me is no. Leon, I mean. So Richmond Miguel says Pedro Neto was tired in the final. Pedro Neto is safe. Remember, he will improve. But you know what with Pedro Neto, right? We needed a striker like Victor Osimhen, right? Because for me personally, I think if we have Victor Osimhen, Pedro Neto will get a lot of the assist. So what are your thoughts about it, bro?
I won't lie to you. Neto has to be one of the biggest scams I've ever seen in my life. The way I remember when we first signed him last in the summer, it was so quiet. There was no rumor, no link, nothing, right? And then boom, we've signed Neto. I was like, yes, this is a signing I will get behind. This is a signing I 100% agree with. And unfortunately for the season, I don't think he helped, meet the expectations that I had. And it's not just about goals and assists, but he's just too predictable, in my opinion. I mean, I get your point. If you have a striker who can, head the ball, I think then you got a great player in Neto, because now you know. But the problem is, sometimes I think we need to stop defending these footballers and thinking, if we had this. Right now, we don't have a striker. We don't have someone who can hit the ball. What else can you do? Fair enough. He scored that goal against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, and he scored the goal
Mm,
against Fulham, crucial goals. But you can do more. You can do much more. If you know that there's no striker in the box, do more of the back post crosses then for Cucurella, right? Or
mm.
take more shots. But he's almost predictable. I know exactly what he does. He gets the ball, dribbles a little bit, turns back, acts like he's gonna chip the ball, and it's the same stuff, unfortunately. But to be fair, what I will say, and I think Rich Moneymaker said it's his first season, and I don't want to
Yeah,
be too harsh on him, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So I'm not gonna be too harsh on it. So it is his first season. So let's see what he does next season.
yeah. Also, big up to DJ Self. It says big up Tebogo. I have had Gittings and Ekitike deals not far away from happening. 100%. It seems like we are getting them, but again, we always say this: until you hold the Chelsea T-shirt, I won't be excited or happy about it. So it seems like here they are talking to each other. DJSF is talking about with Richmond Makers also says, remember, if we had a good striker and Petrovic would have a lot of assists, Petrovic is an elite and he will improve. He's 25. Yeah, like that's what I said for me personally. If you had Victor Osman with those delicious Petrovic crosses, oh my gosh, you're going to have a lot of goals. But the issues that we have Nicholas Jackson there. Or Nkunku. I remember against Forest. He had a great opportunity to score a header goal. What did he do? First leg in the Stamford Bridge. And he missed. So that's the issue I'm having at the moment. But like I said, this is football. So I wanted to show you something, right? Let me do this. I wanted to show you something that I sent to Coachella earlier. I like this. This is the comparison between um what you call Nico Williams and Jamie Gittings. So let me do this. Let me do this, bro. Then we can continue talking about other players. What is that? Okay, this is them. This is them. This spider web. So Jamie Gittings and Nico Williams, right? This is the way they compare them. I don't know whether you can see on the screen. Can you see that?
Yeah, can see.
So if you compare the two players, right? This is Nico Williams. This is Gittings. Because they have similarities, right? But overall, Nico Williams is edging it. But
Yeah.
the main issue with Nico Williams, his release clause is fine, but you have to pay tax on top of that. Also, his wages is earning, I think it's 200 right now, and he might ask for 250 or more. Do you think Chelsea should go for Nico Williams?
If we got someone like Nico Williams, I'd be so happy. But I don't even have hope or faith in that anymore. Honestly, what makes it sad to Boko. If we try and get these players and then they reject us, that's fine. Like, see, when we try to go for Elise, I know Elise
Yeah,
wouldn't have a big problem with the wages. Maybe I don't know, but if we at least try, but we're not even trying. Like, if you just look at, I saw a list of our targets, and I'm just like, no ways, man. After qualifying for Champions League, after thinking, how can we build onto this? And you look at our targets, just like, nah. If I'm being honest with you, I think the low knees or the players we've already signed before, I'm more excited for them than any signings we're going to make this summer. I'm more excited for
yeah,
Quenda. I'm more excited for Santos coming back. I'm more excited for Estavio Williams. That gets me excited. Everything else I'm seeing from these transfer rumors, Garnacho, Gittins, no man. I'm sorry. I just don't care. Delap I was very happy with, but everything else is just underwhelming. If I'm being honest with you, very very. I mean, you know what shocked me? Kelleher
yeah,
from Liverpool, the backup goalkeeper, went for 18 million.
yeah.
You know that guy always performs when he's backup goalkeeper. We didn't even look at it. I mean, like stuff like that just gets me annoyed, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm not really excited for any transfer here this summer. I've already lost all hope and faith.
Yeah, I understand your opinion, bro. So big up, Dante.
Big up, Dante.
Yeah, big up Tobago. Nopa, how are you, Nopa?
Get on yourself. Big ups.
Today, if
No.
Dante tries to join,
And
don't let
Coachella,
him.
why is he coming on when I'm on? Does he have to come on at the same time?
Big ups, Coach here.
What are you doing here at the same time as me?
Big up, coach. How are you?
What's happening to my speaker?
Coach was frozen for a second, I think. Yeah, big up the
No,
chat
I
as well.
wasn't frozen. My sound system was using that banana sound system, so I didn't know. So probably, yeah. Apologies, guys.
System issues as usual.
Go away.
So let me share this first, and then it seems like my boy Anopa is not happy about this, right? So let me share it and read it so that you can
What's
give me
Anopa complaining about?
So it says Chelsea are in touch with Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund over Jamie Gittings and want to wrap up a deal before both clubs go to the Club World Cup. So, what are your thoughts about it, Dante?
Yeah, look, I like Gittins. I think he's a really, really good player, and he's a profile we need. We need a guy that can left foot, right foot, direct, takes quick shots, very technical with his feet, fast. He's got pretty good core strength. So he's got the big, strong legs, as you can see right there in that picture. So he's quite strong, low center of gravity. So he's quite strong. It doesn't get pushed off the ball that easily. And he's still growing, of course. He's only going to get stronger and better being only 20 years old. But I really like him. I think he'll do really well. It's exactly the profile Maresca asked for and the profile we need. So I'm very happy. And he's very flexible. But can play on the left, can play on the right, can play through the middle. He's good all around. But yeah, he does his best work pretty much for Dortmund on that left, taking players on, coming onto his right foot. And yeah, he does not hesitate to shoot. He shoots as many shots as he can, but he's got a very good conversion rate as well. So yeah, I think he's a perfect profile for what we need.
Conchila, what are your thoughts?
I like Gittins. How we started the show this morning, telling people to go look at their numbers. But the Williams is the more popular of the two players. So usually, the average fan of football fan doesn't usually compare numbers to use numbers and eye test to complement each other so you come to a sensible conclusion. I think, like Dante just said, I don't want him to say it's a tap-in. He's stole my idea, by the way. So I think he's the more suitable of the two players to the way we like to play. And plus, he gets you goals. He gets more goals than Williams. But Williams, you could say a bit more creative than him, but it's close. But the more important point there is that he's the sort of winger that we're looking for. That will help the manager implement his preferred approach fully.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Guys, if you're new, please kindly subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Let us know in the comment section what you think about Jimmy Gittings. So this is his profile, right? You can play as a left winger, attacking midfielder, left midfielder, left wing back. Right? And this season he already scored 8 goals, 3 assists. He started 21 games and overall he played 32 goals. 32 games. And he's still 20. So it is not a bad number, especially at his age. So Anopa, did Dante and Coachella change your mind about Jimmy Gittings?
No. Unfortunately, no. 8 goals in the Bundesliga. I'm not even going to take that, unfortunately. Look, like I said, I haven't watched too much of him, so I'm not going to be judgmental. I won't be angry at the signing, but I'm just saying it's not like something that's exciting me, if I'm being honest with you.
Anopa wants a big shiny toy.
Like I said, that compilation I watched of his last 40 shots, fair enough, he's shooting a lot, right? The shots don't trouble anyone. Like, they're going straight to the goalkeeper or they're going out the stadium. So that already gave me a negative view of him. But I'm saying, I'm not angry about it. I just hope it's one of those signings that can prove us wrong. It's not one out be specifically happy or excited about. But I'm just hoping in this sense that we get it right, if that makes
I
sense.
mean,
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair
too
enough
much of
from
a-
Anopa saying he doesn't know Gittins well. So he just hopes that he comes in and does well. I think his argument makes
100%.
sense. Yeah, I wouldn't either argue again, like he said, he's not mad. It's just that he doesn't know him. So, but at least go try Anopa, go try look at the numbers and see how they compare. I think
Yeah,
it will help you.
one good number that you have to look at with Gittins. So, like from big chances, I think it was from 34 chances, he converted like 70% of them. So
Which
70%
is excellent, really, from a winger.
Yeah,
That's
70% is a
decent.
big number. So, and that's all of them. The highlights you saw are probably someone that put up. I saw that some of his errors. Of course, every player does errors. If you compile them from 2-3 seasons, you're going to find a lot of errors on any video you put of anyone. Doesn't matter who they are. You can do a Ronaldo era compilation if you want, no problem. Messi even as well. But yeah, you got to look at the whole bigger picture: how he plays, how he fits in, and conversion rates, and especially from 34 shots hitting 70%. That's a very big high conversion. So I look something a little bit more like that. So yeah, I think, like I said, direct winger. We need a direct winger. Unfortunately, Madueke has had a couple of seasons now, 2.5 seasons, and I don't think he's gotten any better, to be honest. So Gittins comes in, I think, he's another option that's a direct winger that can go there and shoot all the time. That won't be as predictable as Madueke, because unfortunately Madueke can be very predictable these days, and a lot of the defenses know that. They know how to mark him out of the game. Hence, he hasn't scored really or assisted, hardly has scored any goals, because we know what he's going to do. If I know what he's going to do, the defenders know from game film what he's going to do. So yeah, look, Giddens is an exciting prospect, but like you said, if you don't know him, and a lot of people don't know him because he's not a big name. He's not on the stage. You have to watch, German football basically, or you got to watch the youth ranks when he plays for England to see to see a lot more. But look, he's not a ready-made 100% player because he is young, but he's got a very big bright future, and yeah, but he can do the job now as well, 100%.
When you say he's experienced enough, I'd say he's experienced enough.
Yeah, this is only his first real season, like starting. This is his first really season starting, and even though he didn't start all the games, you can see there. Look, 21 starts, so in 32 games. So Dortmund played a lot more games than that. So he only got his chance this season because before that he was behind Sancho, who was behind a few other players because he was still 18 at the time. So, but this season, yeah, he really exploded, especially the later part of the season. And yeah, like I said, his numbers are really good, but more the conversion rates and those type of numbers more than actual overall goals and assists. Because yeah, 21 games, really 8 goals and 3 assists is actually pretty good. It's not a bad number.
And
Yeah,
for a good price.
Yeah, it's very good. 50. I think it's a good price.
Yeah.
So
and he's
according to
English as well. He's English.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to accommodate to England. He's played in England in the Man City Academy. He doesn't need to accommodate to English culture, lifestyle. He already knows that very well. So another homegrown player quota as well. So yeah, there's a few more pluses as well. But yeah, around the 50 mark, I think that's even on FootMob. That's what the market him has, and that's pretty much the right price. For a prospect like that. And the salary, I think he's on 40 something at Dortmund. So basically, Chelsea will probably not even double that, to be honest. Maybe 80 million, 80,000 a week or something. Maybe 100 max. I don't think they'll give you more than 100. So the salary is really good, and when you stretch that out over a 6-year period, well, that's peanuts.
Yeah, funny thing, right? Our new owners, they made us financial experts as Chelsea fans, because honestly, we talk about wages first before we even think about the player.
Well, yeah. Well, a lot of people don't look. I started looking more the last 2-3 years because the new rule changes. You have to look at them when there's new rule changes, PSR and all the compliance issues. People don't realize that's such a big thing in football, and we're quite ahead of the curve. Once we get some of our Chilwells, Sterlings, these players that are on big wages that are still there, our wage bill will be very, very low. So, yeah, you have to do that because then you can actually sign top talents and top players. Once that wage bill goes really low, well, then after that, when the team's ready to go, well, then you've got a lot of money to spend. Otherwise, you're just going in a loop. You're going in the same circles and nothing's happening. So, PSR it's a big issue, and teams need to be compliant. And that's why I've looked at more at numbers because it's very important these days in football. Unfortunately, it's not football related, but the EPL made it so that it's very football relevant, unfortunately.
Yeah, 100%. Rich money makers. Remember, guys, Jimmy Gittings replacement for Mudrik, according to my source. And we have SKFC. Says like the stream, guys. Big up SK, big up, bro. It's good to see you here. So this is his numbers, and we have some interesting news that Dante might actually kindly like. So, according to Guardian Sports, says it is understood Chelsea are open to offers for Noni Madueke. There is a feeling that his development has stalled. So, I'm going to start with you, Dante, since I put you on the spot. What are your thoughts about this?
Well, that's exactly what I've been saying. So it's good to see that that's come out. Look, I think the club would look at it the same way. They've invested into him. He wasn't that expensive, but has he really stepped up these? And he's played a lot of games as well. Let's not forget he's Maresca's second son, basically. Maresca loves him for some reason. He's given him a lot of games, a lot of chances, and especially in this run-in where the pressure was on, I think he failed, in my opinion. I think he was pretty poor in most of those games, especially in the final against Betis. That was probably the worst performance of the season. So the pressure was high and he regressed. But the whole season, really, he hasn't really done much, to be honest. Like I said, he'll run, but the play will break down when he gets involved. Palmer's numbers would be so much higher if Madueke, because they love each other. They're friends. They're really good friends. So he's always passing the ball out to him wide. Madueke always loses it most of the time, or cuts back and wants to shoot, be a bit more selfish. So, yeah, look, I think he hasn't improved. He hasn't developed. He hasn't really taken that next step. And the club, obviously, seeing that, they're going to see it because, he's played a lot and they're going to look at the data. They're pretty high in data as well, along with the eye test. Yeah, don't be surprised he gets moved on if there's an offer there. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Coachilla, what are your thoughts, bro?
The argument that he's regressed, plausible. Selling him, possible. Why? The club didn't spend a lot of money to sign him, but I don't think they'd be eager to sell him. But if good money comes in with some profit, considerable profit, I think they'd sell him.
It'll all be profit now, basically. Any offer will be profit because he's not going less than 20. He's not going less than 20 million. He's going to go 30 million plus.
But they're not gonna be, you can say, pushed to sell him.
No.
They will not. And I think he'd be eager to leave too because he'd be concerned about playing time. Yeah,
I have a feeling, but I think January comes, he'll be gone in January because he's gonna eat that bench a lot. I think with Estevao coming in, and if we sign like a Giddens as well, which he can play on the right, left as well. Well, yeah, I think he's not that type of player that would like to sit on the bench and not be part of the show. I think he'll want out in January, and that's my prediction. I think in January he will be sold.
Very interesting. Anopa, what are your thoughts about potentially selling Noni Madueke?
Yeah, it's a weird one because I feel like he's not a bad player. He's not what we need. He's like, I just think about when we first got him, how exciting he was. The dribbles, the skills. Then it started becoming predictable. And then under Pochettino, that when we had that bit of when him, Cole Palmer, and started scoring goals, I thought, maybe we've got a proper winger here. And then, I think after that hat trick against Wolves, it's just been downward. He's just too predictable on the right hand side. Then on the left hand side, after a while, I thought, maybe this is a good thing as well. But then he gets flat very quick. I think he's just an impact player, in my opinion, to come off the bench for another winger to just confuse the fullback of the opposing team. I think if we get decent money, we can sell. I'm not too fussed about that. We've got Stavio Williams, we've got Quenda. Palmer could play there as well on the right wing. So I don't think we need him. We've got Neto. So I think he's actually one of the players that might be leaving this season, this summer. Sorry. So yeah, I'm not too fussed about that if he doesn't leave.
Important to also say one of those the players that would want to leave.
You think he wants to leave?
I think he would want to. Esteban is coming in.
Not
I
now,
don't
though.
see the quality we'll bring that's coming in. I don't see a world where he'd be starting over these guys.
100%. I agree. I think it's going to be difficult for him to start over those guys.
Yeah. So Siaka, South Africa says, I think Ekitike will decide to join Liverpool FC instead of us, Chelsea instead of Chelsea FC, because Liverpool just won the EPL and played well. Yes, I acknowledge that Chelsea FC won the UEFA Conference League and fourth, but at the moment, bro, it seems like Chelsea are leading the race according to several sources, because Liverpool now at the moment they're still focusing on Florian Wirtz, right? And they just rejected their 120 million euros, so they won 150. So that means Liverpool have to spend more and sell players before sign Ekitike. So it's going to be like a fight. Let's see what's going to happen. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Rich Money Maker says we have to follow very strict wage policy. 70% of clubs' revenue in the Champions League. Well said, legend Dante. And also SK says, I think he's definitely improved this season. He's generally offered more than our wingers, but he did get worse throughout 2025, 100%. And then SK says, I know, keep unless Chelsea get a good offer. Yeah, you know my issue with Noni Madueke, right? When we need him, he missed chances. I remember the Manchester United game that we won 1-0. He got 2 chances from Cole Palmer, and he missed them. And those chances were good. Even the second one was much better because he was on his leg. He should have passed the net. What did he do? That's the issue with Noni Madueke. My issue with him, with Noni Madueke. I like the kid, but again, we need more from him.
I think he struggles in big games. I don't know. You could argue
the pressure got to him.
Yeah, there's a pattern there. He usually get overwhelmed by the size of the occasion. My goodness, even if he was tired, he was awful in that final against Betis. Jesus Christ. I was like, why in the world was he led back onto the pitch in the second half? I wasn't expecting
Maresca, let him 90 minutes. He played the full game.
Yeah,
I was so
I just give Djordje a chance.
Yep.
Just give him a chance. Just at least there's some even. He shouldn't have come onto the pitch in the second half. You could argue, and that sort of thing is probably could lead to a player feeling indispensable. Because as
I was upset
as he
with
was on that day,
I was very upset with that one.
I could not believe what happened.
Even come on the last 10 minutes or whatever, but Tariq George deserved to be on the field, even the last 5 minutes. Just, you know, experience the final, that joy, that happiness, and also just be rewarded basically for a good last few months because he was important, especially he played a lot in the Conference League. So, yeah, I was a bit upset. I was a bit pissed off at Maresca that he didn't bring him on with that last sub and
that made me mad.
Take Madueke off.
I actually forgot about Tariq George as well as part of our wingers. So yeah, he can actually definitely go Madueke then. We got too much. And you know what? I think Maresca's got a bit of favoritism with Madueke. I saw at the beginning of the season. He loves Madueke.
I mean, it's a sensible argument, really.
Yeah.
That what happened on that day proves, he just prefers them for some reason that I do not understand. As bad as he wasn't that day, reminiscent of what Pochettino did with Raheem Sterling. Was it Poch? Raheem Sterling?
Yeah, Poch.
Yeah, but I like Maresca. I trust him, but damn, I was like, what is this guy doing again on the pitch?
Yeah, him and Neto were awful.
Yeah. It's not like he's not like Copama that you say, even if he gets a pillow and starts sleeping on the pitch, just leave him there. He'd still wake up and do something. Nani Madueke isn't that guy that you say, okay, just let him finish.
Yeah, 100%. SK says that the problem is Sancho and Neto don't even chances to miss. That's the issue with them. They don't shoot enough. That's the issue with Neto and Sancho. And Sancho always score beautiful goals, but the issue with him, he doesn't score enough, shoot enough for him to score those goals.
Can I say this?
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Okay, Dante doesn't shoot it. Who is Dante? Sancho doesn't shoot enough, but when he shoots, he hardly misses, right? He scores. So he's more of a creator. He looks to create more
Exactly.
than shoot.
And with Neto.
Yeah. And let me tell you this. If Madueke can become, I know we've talked about this 1,000 times, Dante. If Madueke can become just a little less selfish and a little more selfless, he'd be a perfect, you could say, a much better player. So
yeah, 100%.
See the difference. If you're saying, but those guys don't get to shoot, those guys almost always looks to create than shoot, which you could argue the manager actually prefers that. But Nani Madueke almost always looks to score than create. But as a winger, you're expected to create more.
Create first, then score. Yeah, 100% for a winger. Yep. Look, it's a bit of a mystery, that one, why he kept playing. But hey, it is what it is. He was probably hoping, probably really good in the behind the scenes training and that he might be top notch. He's doing all the right things. So, he's backing the player, but I think he's backed him a bit too much. So yeah, that was one criticism I have of Maresca, 100%, the Madueke situation. And just to add to that, look, Neto, when he shoots with power, and a lot of his shots are always, they go on target, and he scored quite a few goals shooting. Doesn't shoot as much because, like I said, they're first creative wingers. They're always looking to cut the ball back or to cross it to Jackson. Now, Jackson has missed a lot of those, or he doesn't even get on the end of them. Madueke doesn't even look to cross first. He's always thinking to cut to the left and go in and shoot. That's far away in the back of his mind to create. But it should really be first, and then, because like this, he becomes predictable, and he's very, very, very predictable, unfortunately, because he's got a left foot, basically. So the players, like I said, they know what he's doing. He's going to cut on his left and shoot. Now, give him a bit of credit. When he got switched to the right, he did well in one of those games, but that was only one game. After that, again, they knew what he was going to do. There's only one thing he's going to do, and run to his right and take a shot, but all the shots are very, very weak shots because he can't put any power behind them because he doesn't really have that right foot, that strong. He's not that good at it. So, even on the right, after one game, he became predictable because people knew what he was already doing. And then the last 2-3 games on the left, he was really, he wasn't good enough on the left either because he became predictable even there after one game. One game was a surprise to everyone because they haven't seen him do that. But after that, there was no more surprise. They knew what he was doing. And again, he got shut down completely.
Yeah, let me just say this quickly. I get it. We've talked about how Maresca prefers him and likes him, basically his son. Dante called him that. The truth remains, if Maresca has better option, that's it for
he'll
him.
take it, yeah.
That's it. That's what big managers do.
Well, Esteval can do those things on a much higher level, and he scores pretty much all of his chances.
And if you want evidence, if you want evidence that he's going to do that, look at KDH. It's simple.
And you can put the argument for Madueke, but when we get a good striker, then he'll be able to. No, that it will not change. It will change for Sancho and Pedro and these other Neto and all these other players because they will have someone to cross it into. But that will not change for Madueke because he will still not be looking for that striker. He will still be more selfish and he'll be looking to score first and then create. And then it's too late because he's hold the balls for too much. So, look, even a really good striker comes in, Madueke is not going to improve. But Neto and Neto and Sancho, they will improve a lot because they will get a lot of assists.
Yeah, before I read the Hugo Ekitike news, let me check the comments. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, please kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel and give us your thoughts about what is happening at Chelsea. So I don't know where to start. Okay, let me do this. Oh, I think it's from here. Yeah, this one, right? Says, I think he's definitely improved this season. I know I've read this. I'm gonna start here. I think it's this here. Our coach left Noni, and I repeat, Sancho Ekbali is fighting to keep him, and Gittings and Sancho are under the same agent. So you know what I'm saying. And Siaka says, yes, George really should have played in the final of the UEFA Conference League, really. But next time in future he'll play in the one of the final. I think personally, if we buy another winger, we might see Tarek George go alone. Personally, that's my take. Since remember, Pedro Neto was brought in for one assist.
And first assist and then score. To assist first, he's trying to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Big up, Julius. Big up, bro. And we have Noni, SKSS, Noni creative numbers are still the same ballpark, though.
But double the games, a lot more games.
Says more good news. Tosin is staying, especially with the Champions League football. I don't think we need
I never suspected that Tosin was going to be sold.
Yeah.
You see how Dante, and the others were able to recognize that Tosin is actually one of our best center backs. I think the manager knows that. The club knows that. I did not at any time fear that they'd sell him. I did not. If they do that, then they're stupid.
No, he's a perfect player to have against certain matchups. He's perfect. Like
him, and he might not have the armband. Given what we're hearing coming out from the dressing room, he's actually one of the leaders.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
100%. So let me read this one. SK says, I think the selfish narrative is overrated. But to be honest, my dream winger for a left winger is Liao.
No. Dream. All the wingers in the world, and your dream one is Rafael Leao. My goodness. I mean, that's a bit crazy, man. Like, there are so many wingers out there, and your dream one is Leao.
If you think Nkunku is off the ball, lazy off the ball, wait until you see Leao.
Honestly. It's like the winger version of Nkunku, basically.
Yeah. His work rate is not good enough, but in terms of attack is there. But this season we saw a lot of negatives of Leao, and the new coach ended up dropping him because of his work rate. So for me, Leao is a red flag. He's a good winger, but his work rate is not good enough. And also, like I said before, they gave him a new contract with a 170 or 180 release clause. So the clubs if want him, they might pay 120 or 100 million for him. 100 for Leao? Are you kidding me? No. SK, bro, with all due respect, I understand this is your own opinion, but for me, Leao, his work rate is not good enough, bro.
He wouldn't really suit the Premier League.
Season.
He doesn't suit the Premier League at all.
And also we have HA says we must bring goal scorers like Victor Osimhen or Ekitike. Seems like one you like Ekitike might join Chelsea. We are not sure yet because we get a lot of rumors that Ekitike is close to come to Chelsea, but the issue is that are we going to have Ekitike, Liam Delap, and Nicholas Jackson? That's the issue I'm having at the moment. But let's wait and see.
Yeah, not bad.
So let me read this. Yeah, I agree with you. So let me read this. Says the transfer of Hugo could go through this week. So clearly, according to this guy that always share news about Ekitike, I says Adler News, right? Says Ekitike news might go through, but I don't think so. I don't
And
think
the
so.
truth is, he isn't specific. Go through to where? Join Man United, or what's the club that came to mind? No, it's not. It's not specific. So go through to where?
Liverpool,
Liverpool,
you're thinking
Chelsea.
probably.
Yeah. I don't
I
like
don't
such
think
report.
so. Okay, but let me do this. I think Simon said the full news in the morning. So let me do this so that we can have the whole news about this, right? Now a lot of okay. Oh, let's.
Is that the
Nah,
one where Simon Johnson saying that he doesn't see us getting another striker?
no, not that one. I saw something in the morning, earlier morning today. Oh, man, let's forget about it because I don't see it anymore. So, but anyway, since we're talking about Ekitike, right? Dante always like to say it's a spider web or data. So, coach, can you read? Can you see this?
Who compared to
Yep.
who?
I can. Yep.
Alexander
Isaac to Ekitike.
Yes. So that's why you always say this. Like it seems like Ekitike and Isaac have similarities, but Isaac is the more complete one at the moment. So can you kindly demonstrate about this because I'm not good with
Let
this.
Dante go ahead. I can't see it. It has to be
If
on
you can
this
go down a
window.
little bit, I just want to see those the bottom ones. If you can go up a little bit,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, that's it. That's perfect. Yep. Yeah, we know they're very similar players because probably more when Isaac was young. You can very similar. He was, much more skinny kid, sort of the same quick feet. It's very pretty good technically for a big guy because both of them are very tall as well. They're very similar in a lot of those stats. The only stat you don't see there, you won't see that's the eye test because that's not there. And
it looks like Ekitike shoots a lot more, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I mean, a little bit more. What's that red one? Sorry, go down to the bottom. I can't see that last one, that big red one down the bottom.
Yeah, we need to see what that is.
Ariel's one.
Yeah. And then
So
who's that? Ekitike.
Yep. Ekitike is more Ariel's one. And I have seen him score one-headed goal. So I've seen him score. Let's not forget he's a tall guy. He's a very big, tall guy. He's got that on his side. But yeah, I'm surprised to see that because he doesn't really score or doesn't go for that many headers. I think he's only scored one-headed goal, I think. So it's quite high, that one, surprisingly. But Isak's the same. He doesn't really get headers. Also, the way they play as well, because they like to play on the open, run, transition. They're not really box threats. None of them are really box threats. Neither are box threats. And Ekitike is the problem I have with Ekitike. I like his quickness. I like his ability, his technical ability. His link-up play is very good. He's not a traditional number 9, though. He's not going to outmuscle any defender. He's not going to get on top of any defender. You put a little bit of body on him, and he falls over. He's only like 60-something kilos. Well, I think 70 kilos. He's very lightweight. That is a big problem in the Premier League when you're that lightweight, especially if you're going to play as the number 9. I mean, you will struggle a lot in the Premier League if you're like that. Haaland, for example, look at him. Yeah, he's not the most technical player, but he knows how to finish, and he's very big and strong, and that helps him a lot in the Premier League.
Do you not think Ekitike will eventually improve that aspect of his game?
Maybe in 5-6 years.
Yeah,
5 years. He's not, coach. He's a twig. Sorry, he's like a stick. He's that skinny. He's almost anorexic, to be honest. If you look for his height, if you look at his kilograms, if you go to the chart, that's bordering on anorexia because he's so tall.
You know why I disagree?
There's no strength. There's no core strength. He's got no core strength at all. He's very easily to push off the ball. And when you come up against a low block, good luck doing anything against the low block. And that is one thing Jackson cannot do either. But Ekitike will do it even worse, in my opinion, because he's got like hardly any strength. It's very easy to defend him. English teams will eat him up. Yes, he will get stronger with age, like Isak did, but Isak took 3 years to get strong. So yeah, Ekitike will probably be there in 3-4 years, but that's a long time away. If you buy him now for then, maybe, but for now, the next couple of years, even 3 years, in my opinion, probably even more. I just don't see him being effective against any team that defends deep or puts a body on him and man marks him. He doesn't get man marked in the Bundesliga. I saw him. He's
I
always on
hope
his
we
own.
sign him so he puts Dante to shame.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, coach, because I was about to say this. Look at, for example, right, Eden Hazard.
Did
I'm
I
gonna
get
say
disconnected?
Eden
I
Hazard.
can't hear you. I'm
Eden
sure,
Hazard.
I'm sure I'm fine. Not sure why I can't hear you.
Can you hear me, guys?
Coach is having
What is
system
going on
problems. I can hear
Coach,
you.
can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm not sure what happened.
Okay, no problem. I know Eden Hazard and Ekitike are two different profiles. Like Eden Hazard, he came right, he was weak, but look at when
No,
goes on.
Tobago. Eden Hazard was not weak.
Even
Hazard
that,
was
like
stronger.
Dante to lose his debate. I disagree that Hazard came in weak. No, he
But-
had perfect balance always.
He's low. He's tiny. Don't forget,
Yeah.
he's down
Low gravity
low
and
center of
everything.
gravity. But look at his legs. Look how much meat on Hazard's legs. His
Oh my
core
goodness.
was ridiculous. He was a
Yeah.
very, very strong winger. You could not push him off the ball. You cannot push him off the ball at all.
Nah, I lost the battle. I really
You can't
lost.
win that battle. That is the worst battle
No,
I've
you
ever
cannot.
heard you
That's
say,
actually
Tobago.
a crappy take from you.
That's a bad one,
Boo.
Tobago. Sorry.
Okay, let me read the comments because I already lost. Dante, yeah, it's 1-0 right now, right? I'm gonna come back to you. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
it's like 1-1.
It's not a competition, but anyway, that's fine.
So Richmond Maker says trust Simon Philip because he does know what it is going on. But my issue with Simon Phillips, right?
Is he saying we should trust him or don't trust him? Okay, trust. He does know. Okay.
Yeah, he does know. My only issue with Simon Phillips, when we are losing games, he's the one and other big accounts
He's biased.
talking rubbish about the coach.
He's
Right,
very
Dante?
biased. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
very
biased.
biased. He's not. He hates the ownership. He hates. He doesn't like Maresca, and he's one of those that talked bad down on the club and Maresca. But then look, he's still a reporter. He's got a couple of connections at the club and that because he does. He's got those connections, but he doesn't like the owners. Doesn't like Maresca, and he's been one of those. Even for the protests, yeah, let's do it. So no, I do not trust it. Like I do not listen to whatever it says because I just
it's
don't
one
bother
of those
with people
accounts that you could argue the
But it's his
reason
job.
why.
It's his day job.
Yeah, you could argue one of those accounts or Juno's the reason why the unnecessary name calling still persists in the community.
Yes,
They're the reason because people echo what they say.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a big following, and he's a proper reporter. He's a proper, he's a professional at his job. But the way he went about it, I'm sorry, I cannot follow someone like that or listen to someone like that. And it's just a shame, like you say, he's got a big following and a lot of people's, because he was very good in the past. Obviously, when thing goes right, but as soon as something turned, like he got nasty and ugly, and I don't pay attention to people like that.
I don't either. I don't think it's worth it. No, he's a problem, really. But he doesn't care as long as the clicks coming. That's all that matters to him. And the truth is, I'm going to say, I've said this before, herd mentality is the biggest problem. I wouldn't say it's not just, I think it's commonplace in every fan base. But just because we are, we're immersed in ours, it just seems it doesn't happen elsewhere. But Jesus Christ, sometimes it just does seem as if ours is too much, really. Because you listen to people talk, you start questioning do these people even have brains in their skulls? I'm just happy. I wrote something yesterday, but I just said, tell my wife, can you proofread this for me? And she said, what are you gonna do with this? I nearly snapped yesterday. I just changed to, if you have issues with the owners, don't get me involved. I want to support Chelsea in peace, really, because some of the nonsense they say just doesn't make sense. What's the other girl? Is it Tasha? What's her name? We didn't hear much from her until
Yes.
what day? A few days ago. I forgot what happened. I think it's about signings. So she got the slightest opportunity to start pandering rubbish again. She came out from nowhere. And a lot of them are like that. I wanted to say yesterday. Had I said it, I think I'd lose 70% of my friends on X.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't. I was seriously pissed because I was like, what's happening to these people? How do you reason? And nothing objective about what they have to say. It's just because a big account said it and they just echo it. And if you're able to echo what the big accounts are saying, you have good ball knowledge. You're smart. But I'm ranting right now. I'm done. I don't talk again.
Stop there, coach, before you say something.
Honestly.
Yeah. SK says the only thing that worries me about Ekitike is his shooting. Also, HA says, but Osimhen is blue good goal scorer. I agree with you, but the only issue is Osimhen also wages. So that's the issue. And also, Coachella may always mention something, and then I think maybe the club are considering it. In December, going to play AFCON. So are we going to lose both Osimhen and Nicholas Jackson? But at least now we have Liam Delap. That might change things. But again, Osimhen, Liam Delap doesn't make sense. And then Siaka says we need a defense that rock wall solid and guys that pushes each other to ensure that the keeper is safe. 100%. But bro, who are we going to buy? Just in we will keep Terwachelva only if was to be a squad player. Sorry, Terwachelva fans, and might not have make a lot of sales this season. Personally, I think we should keep him as a squad player. But again, it's up to him. Does he want to play more? I don't know. So, Anopa, what are your thoughts about this? Anopa?
Nopa he's gone to the market.
Yeah, coach, what are your thoughts about this? Keep it to Chalaba.
I'm not sure what to say. But Heston, he finished well. He looked an improved player towards the end of the season. I don't know what's going to happen. But here's the thing. One thing I just have to say is this. If the manager likes him well enough to say he wants him to stay, he stays. Do I think he stays? I'm not sure because he finished very well. And it's not easy given the fact that he was on loan at Crystal Palace and was playing games irrespective of whether he was doing well or not. He called back and he was pivotal to how we finished the season. And we'll see. It's one of them, like Matt Joe Bowles will say, it's one of them situations where you just wait and see what happens. You can't say certainly we're keeping him. I wanted to say that, but then I recalled, in my opinion, my theory as to why the club wanted to sell him was because once Bayern came calling, he did ask to leave.
Mm.
The only reason he didn't eventually leave was because Bayern weren't willing to buy him on a permanent. They wanted him on a loan force, and the club was saying, no, if you want to leave, it has to be on a permanent. We don't want you back. And you could say that's common. That's something, a pattern we've seen with regards to how the new owners operate. If you push to leave, they're going to push to sell it. So my theory is that, yeah, I don't know whether they'd forgive him. No, I wouldn't. I don't think it's okay to say forgive. Whether they look beyond that and decide to keep him because he did well enough, or whether maybe they feel like they can do better than Chalobah. Can we do better than Chalobah? Absolutely. I believe we can do better than him. But there's an advantage to keeping him. If the manager decides he likes him well enough that he should stay, I think the speculation that will only keep him if he agrees to become a squad player, that argument doesn't make sense. You can't come to a player and tell him, look, we want you to stay, but you have to be a squad player. I don't think it makes sense. I think what I believe that makes sense to tell a player is that, look, we want you to stay, but you have to fight for your place. If you're the better player, you get to start. But if the other player does better than you, he gets to start. It wouldn't make sense if you come to me and say, you want me to stay to be a squad player, and I still have the ambition of representing my country on international level. It's bye Felicia for me. I'm leaving. Except if I feel like I can compete and be the starting player, then I'd stay. So that argument of saying a player is told if you want to stay and be a squad player, no, not the player at his age. He's not at the point in his career where you'd say he would, again, he doesn't want to represent England. He just wants to earn the money. For me, he's still young, really. But let's wait and see what happens. If Maresca really likes him, he stays.
Who's this for? Which player?
Trevor
Chalobah.
So I'm assuming.
I thought you left. You went to market.
Sorry. My connection was bad, and I don't want to interrupt you when you're speaking. My bad.
No, you're fine.
For me personally, I think we keep him just because of the certain attribute of him tackling. I feel like we've got a lack of tackling from our centre backs, and he's someone who is not afraid to go for a last ditch challenge, in the penalty area, or make a correct, defensive positioning, or like at the right time, at the right place. I don't think he's a starter, in my opinion, but I think he was needed. I think he was very, very helpful at this run at the end, when we were winning all these games. And but I do feel it's not up to Maresca. I think it's just based off the board. If they get a good offer, it's pure profits, they'll sell him. But I personally would keep, in my opinion. We don't financially. I think we're fine. If we're to believe what we've been told, if Maresca likes him, I think he stays. Think so?
Yeah, I think if he likes him, he stays. Honestly.
So you're saying based off us getting Champions League qualification now and that we're in the competition,
we have money.
I
don't think financially we're fine. I don't think we're desperate.
Yeah.
To the measure that we have to sell players, to balance the books. And I think we're fine. And even participating in the Club World Cup, even if we don't go far, we get a lot of money too.
Yes.
Yeah, so based on that, if I think based off Maresca, then yeah, he should definitely stay. If Maresca wants him to stay.
Let's see what happened. Dante, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, look, I mean, it depends what the club's planning is for next seasons. And yes, they do look at that for next season as well, and how much money they need for next season, what they're planning to do, who they want to sign. That all comes into calculation. But yeah, look, as a squad player, 100% he should stay as a squad player. He's probably one of the more experienced players there. He'll be 26 next month, so he's probably starting to enter his prime from now 26 to sort of 30, 32. The defender's a little bit older, so he's going to enter his prime. Is he consistent? No, he's not been consistent his whole career. He's not been consistent. At Crystal Palace, he did the same. He had a couple of amazing games, and then he made 3 or 4 big errors that led to goals, like at Crystal Palace. So he's not consistent. He did that at us as well. He came in first game, amazing the first game he played. Then the next 6-7 games went missing. Now the last 4 or 5 games, again, very good. Now he's very, very, very inconsistent. So yeah, I think as a squad player, very good. As a starter, no. As a guaranteed starter, no chance. And the club will tell him that. Maresca will tell him that he won't be a guaranteed starter. They're not going to say you're a squad player because no one says that. But he's not a guaranteed starter. So It's up to the player, it's up to the club. But yeah, for me, I would keep him as a squad player. We don't really have the money issues, so we don't really need him unless the club are looking financials for next season, what they want to sign next season, and they need extra money, a lot more money. Well, then maybe, and if there's an offer that comes in, then they might sell him now this season if that's the case.
Convincing offer, we'll have to say. And
yeah, look, not really convincing, coach, because I think 25, 30 million, he's gone. If someone comes in that, and that's not a big money.
I mean, it depends on.
That's not big money these days. That's not convincing, but it's pure profit. Like we like to say, it's pure profit. He doesn't, he's an academy player, so it goes on.
The most important question, Dante, is: can we do better than Trevor Chalobah? Absolutely, and that's why. Yeah, and that's why we're not certain what's going to happen. Yeah,
and that is the thing. Who depends who comes in as well. Say, for example, Mark Guehi comes in. He's not starting over Mark Guehi because he's just not starting over him. Wesley Fofana is fit. He's not starting over Wesley Fofana. He's definitely not starting over Levi Colwell. So then you're automatically down to 4 spots down already. We got that Sa coming in as well. We've got Anselmino still there.
Is he joining?
Like
or
he was
injured. Is Sa joining?
Yes, he is. Yes. Of course he is. Yeah, he signed the.
For that reason, you can say he's gone. I don't think he would want to risk it.
Well, no, not for his career. Not. And the other point I was going to make, he just got picked for England.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He wouldn't want to risk it because if you don't play, you're not going to get picked.
If you're not a starter, because he was a starter for us, and a bit of favoritism, obviously from ex-Tuchel, that helps a lot. But if next season he's not a starter somewhere, he's not getting back into the England squad. He's not sitting on the bench in Chelsea. He's not going to put you in the England squad. Tuchel had a bit of justification because at the end of the season, a couple of injuries, other players he couldn't bring. And end of the season, he was really solid. Like we said, the last 4 games, he was solid. He did his job very well, and he got into the England squad. But going forward, staying at Chelsea, you're not going to be in the England squad.
It won't help.
Yeah, it's not going to help at all. So I think he moved on. I think he gets moved on. I think, like I said, the money also will help us, even if not this transfer window, but 100% for the next or mid in January or whatever. If we need to have extra funds available, well, that will help a lot.
He was really quick to jump at the Bayern opportunity because of the signing of the Sassi.
And he did, yes. And there was a little bit public too that he wanted to kind of go and he wanted to join there. So that was a mistake he made. 100% he made a mistake. Like you said, these owners, I'm sorry, one little thing you do like that, you're not staying. You're gone.
Yeah. So let me read the comments. It seems like a lot of comments here, but according to Real Gem says this is United signing Højbjerg Højland because they missed out on Haaland by the bell cover theory. Ekitike will not be Isak. No, we are not saying it's Isak. They have similar.
Can I say this quickly, if you don't mind? Ekitike will not be Isak. Chances are he'd be better than Isak. The possibility is there. It could go either way. He might end up not even getting close to Isak. He could end up becoming much better than Isak. But I think right now, even though he's younger than Isak, he's a much better dribbler than Isak. Even eye test alone proves that. But go ahead.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah, no problem. Richmond says, Dante, please speak to our sporting directors. I love this guy. Sorry, don't shoot the messenger. Yeah, it seems like you guys have a connection. So I won't say anything.
Yeah, they love each other too. So.
And then Isiaka says, don't my friend, you're a joke. Then the man is like a stick. Seems like they didn't like what he said about him. Says after speaking to Party, the sporting directors love this guy and Josh Hilt, Ekitike. Yeah, it seems like Chelsea are pushing for Ekitike. Like you said, it won't be easy because they are not budging on their price tag. Says Simon Phillips did apologize for not trusting us to get in the test for.
Which I don't want to get pissed right now. Which is the more reason why you have to learn to be objective. If you at least if you try the best you can to be as objective as possible, then there'll be less need for you to apologize. But when you are disingenuous, but when you let your emotions drive what you tell your audience, emotions can cloud your judgment. It can impair your judgment. It lead to you not speaking objectively, thinking you're saying the right thing, not knowing that whatever you're saying is driven by your emotions. Then by the time you realize what's going on, you'd be apologizing. But if you're objective, you'd say, okay, this is like this, but this is the reason why it is like that, and this is what we can do to solve the problem. Then you're being objective. If it goes the other way, you don't need to apologize. If you pay attention, don't let your emotions control you. You can see things the way they are.
And coach, it's not just for me. Him saying that makes it even worse, because that's disingenuous what he just said when he apologized. It was like, oh yeah, whatever, I'm sorry that we didn't, it wasn't really an apology. I'm sorry. That's even worse. That makes it even worse to me.
It's worse. It's just
like I said, there's levels to this.
That's it.
There's levels to this. Yeah, you can talk about football and not agree who we sign or how we played or stuff. Keep it football related is fine, but he went after the owners and anyone that, for me, that was pushing protests and that like that. And Maresca out all the time, and this Maresca's not good enough, and this championship manager, and this that because of the owners, and saying yes to protest and that. Well, for me, that's taking it to another level, which I don't associate with those type of people.
And sometimes you start to ask the question: do they really understand how football works? Because 15 minutes
he knows
into
how
a game,
football works. The problem is his judgment is clouded because the hate for the owners, coach.
Yeah, you could say, one of it. And some of them, 15 minutes into a game, we consider go, and that's it, it's over. Then they'll start spewing nonsense. Then we equalize the goal, score 2 more goals, boom, ice. They'll become the nicest people in the world. And my goodness.
Funny thing about the Chelsea fans that don't like the coach, right? Every time you consider goal, or maybe, for example, what game did we win? I think it was against Fulham that we won 2-1, right? You know what they did? We played the Poch way. It was not Anza Maresca's way. What is that?
Yeah. The other one, Kopama created a chance for himself against Real Betis. He created the 2 chances for himself, ran into the box, finished, put away the chances by himself, which is why Raleigh Jennings is saying it was Palmer brilliance that won us that game.
Because Palmer's comment as well, because it was Palmer's comment, but that's taken out of context, that comment. People saying he's doing what he wants. He's already got a free role. He can already do what he kind of wants on the field.
They're saying he's basically saying we didn't play the manager's way,
Yeah, so they think, the players did that by themselves, that after halftime, they're the ones, but they don't see the tactical adjustments that were made. They don't look at that at all. They just see that Palmer decided to take his man on and take things into his account. And because he said after the game that he didn't want to pass it backwards anymore and sideways, or there was no options, that he decided to take his man on. Well, that was just, he's got that freedom to do that anyway. Anytime he wants, he can take his man on. He's one player on that field that has that freedom to do that anytime.
Maybe that's the only time he remembered that he had the freedom to do that.
He's got the freedom to drop deep, go left, go right. He can do whatever he wants on the field. He's the only player that in that 10% that he's got a free role. He can take his man on. Doesn't matter if he loses the ball, but he's got that free license to do that because he's got that capability, and you always have a player like that in the team that can do that. He's one that has got that license to do that. Maresca has said he's got that license to do that in the press conference, but people are still saying no, he doesn't. But it is what it is.
Maresca ruined him.
Maresca ruined him.
Maresca ruined him.
He should have the Ballon d'Or by now if it wasn't for Maresca.
When the season started,
he would have won the Ballon d'Or this season. Poch.
Yeah. Did I have that conversation with you? We knew Palmer will have less goals this season.
Oh, 100%. I called it earlier. I said he's not gonna have as many goals. Nowhere near it.
Because we're more of a team than we were last season.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's not basketball. It's not basketball anymore either. So yeah.
It's not. See, it's not. It's no longer about him, which is, you could argue, that's the reason why we finished 4th. Because last season, you could argue under Pochettino, once Cole Palmer isn't playing, we're done.
Yeah. Look, it is.
But
Look, the
people, I don't
players
know how they see football.
and players that people need to understand that even I'm not sure if you guys saw the PSG interview with Vitinha. Did you see that interview today?
Yes, I
that he
saw
did?
that.
Yeah, well, that should tell you a lot. Like when Enrique went there and what how they played as well. They did exactly the same. So they needed to learn to play in the system that Enrique, and it took them like months, nearly a year to learn that, and then they were able to make some adjustments. But you need to understand, system is very important, and the players need to learn that under our manager, and that's exactly what PSG did. I can guarantee you now, if Enrique was at Chelsea last season, he would not have made it the season. He would not make that season. He would have got fired.
Yeah.
They would have wanted him out quicker than Maresca, in my opinion, because the way he would play and what he would have done.
And he's stubborn like Maresca. He doesn't.
Yeah,
He's very
it's
stubborn,
stubborn.
but he had the
he's very
freedom to
stubborn.
do it in the French league because you have the freedom to do it there because he's got
Even
it's
in
such
the
a
French
big gap.
league, he wasn't perfect the first season.
But it was bad. It wasn't a good season for them either.
Yeah.
It was not the best. They weren't very good. So, but I'm just saying, if he did that in the Premier League, he had that freedom to do that there because they trusted him and they backed him and they gave him that season to whatever. They're still going to win it basically because that's how bad that league is. There's a big gap there. But yeah, look, that wouldn't have happened at Chelsea, unfortunately. So, it's all in context. People just, that's the world we live in, unfortunately. It's everybody remembers the last couple of games. They don't remember anything before that.
Here's the thing. We're all entitled to our respective opinions.
100%,
right?
yes.
What I don't like, the people I want to disconnect from is those people that will always find a way to double down. The most
Double
stupid
down.
way to double down, which is a sign that they just want to be right. They don't care. They're not open-minded. They don't want to say,
100%.
okay, I was wrong. Here, let me
You
learn
can be
from it.
wrong. You
Yeah.
can be wrong. Everybody's
That's the
wrong.
sort of people I don't want to associate with anymore. Yeah. Your
And
opinion,
also-
fine. Okay by me. But once I see that it's clear that you're wrong and you're still doubling down or finding a reason to double down, I want to stay away from you because there's nothing to learn from you.
And when he goes beyond football as well, because a lot of that goes beyond football too. Yeah.
Yeah, and also remember, individual brilliance sometimes win you games. So doesn't have to be on the coach every time. Their players also need to take responsibility. That's it. So I don't understand why people always complaining. But we have our boy here, Chelsea session says Teboga out. I appreciate it, bro. It says, what do you do with Tarek George next season? Like I said before, I think personally, we need to send him on loan. And I wish he was Strasbourg, but again, we can't send everyone to Strasbourg. So
How old is he?
I think he's 20 or 19, somewhere there.
I think we should keep him. And I'm going to say why. He can still play for the academy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There are lots of games he can play in the League Cup.
Yeah, but coach, when a player like that's not going to play for the academy anymore, unfortunately, when you get that taste of first team football, he's not going to go back to
He's
the
not
academy.
going to be happy doing the other one. Okay.
It's just normal progression. You don't. First of all, his agent, his family, and that that is not allowed. That will not happen. I can guarantee you that now. It's not. And don't forget, it is a business. It's still a business. There's money involved. There's agents involved. It's not how it works, unfortunately. He won't go back. It's either he goes on loan or he stays in the team and gets minutes. But we're not in the Conference League next year. We're in the
so he'd be
Champions
better
League.
off going out on loan. I agree.
Yeah, so I think for his development to play a lot, go out on loan somewhere where you're guaranteed a lot of minutes and do extremely well, and then you will be back and then you will get serious minutes. So yeah, I think I'm the same. I think he should probably go on loan, to be honest. It's not the Conference League anymore. It's Champions League the next season. So it's two levels up, basically.
100%. And we have Jabulani Ngumalu here says, sign Braithwaite for our backline and keep Chalba for his EPL experience. Release Disasi, Chilwell, Kani, Okuchuku, Broha, Nkunku, Felix, Tarata Fafana, Kepa and Stelly. I like what you said there, but it won't be easy. But almost 95% of those players that you mentioned are most likely to leave Chelsea this summer. So, yeah, more money coming, like you always said. It's not about signing, but also it's all about releasing some other players. And we have Ty says more likes add to 93 away from 1K. Congratulations on your getting to 900 subscribers. Big up, bro. Appreciate it. So, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please kindly subscribe to the channel. I'm going to read your other comments, but we need to talk more about Chelsea because there's other key that I like and it's linked to Chelsea.
Yeah,
So
I agree. We need to talk more about Chelsea. Those in the chat, they're talking about Liverpool.
thus, according to Vince, coding team talk says Chelsea are seriously considering a move for Everton centre back Gerard Braithwaite. So, Anopa, what are your thoughts about this kid? Do you think he's going to improve us?
So from what I've seen from him, I've seen he's very. I like the physicality. I like the aggressiveness. I like how if the ball's put in the air, he'll contest for that header. No hesitation. My only concern, because I'm not too sure about this, is about his ball playing ability, because he is coming from Everton. So I wonder how that would look in a Maresca system. If he can do that, then I think he's perfect for us. I think yeah, I'm definitely for the signing. If we get to him, I'm very happy. I think he'll help us with a lot of our issues in terms of being physical, tackling, and all that type of stuff. Because I feel like you don't in when you have centre backs, you need centre backs who can do different things. Some of them should be smart with where they position themselves. Some of them should tackle better. Some of them should win the ball in the air like tossing. So yeah, I think he'll give us a new it's a different type of centre back, and that's what we need. So I'm happy with this.
And coach, what about you, bro?
Pretty much what Anapo, is that how you say it? Said he brings balance. He's more of a traditional CB, not I don't think he's a good ball playing CB. Maybe I need to see him more. So something Dante he's talked about at length also on Chelsea's perspective. Guehi can give us that. Are we looking to sign him or Guehi or both? I'd rather Guehi if it has to be one of them. But probably the biggest problem, stumbling block to getting the Guehi deal over the line is the asking price, which is why we're starting to hear that he's planning to run down his contract and leave as a free agent. So yeah, a good mix, balance, different dimension to different profile to what we already have. The aggression I've seen, physicality I've seen. The question is something I'm not well acquainted to. Is you did talk about his injury record. I don't know. I don't want another Fofana situation. And the fact that we're hearing that Moyes is saying is reluctant to sell him, not willing to sell him, not reluctant. Reluctant means there's a possibility that he changes his mind, but he's not looking to sell him. So, which tells me even if he would have it take a lot to convince him to sell him.
Yeah. Dante, before I go to the spider web.
Yeah, look, he's a good young defender. Is he what we need? I like coaching that. I'm more Guehi. But look, he is a profile that we probably do need. You can see there on the chart, he wins a lot of duels, aerial. You see carrying there. He carries the ball. I've seen him run out of defense quite a few times carrying the ball. He's not a bad dribbler, but it's not really. It's a bit distorted, that one, because it's not really forward. It's not going forward. It's more going to the side or back. So it's not as much forward progression. So it's a little bit distorted, that stat, but he can do it. Not as technical as some of the other players we have, as in passing, but one thing that is good, that he does have a left foot and the right foot. So he can play right centre back and left centre back. He keeps it safe, more direct passing, but for me, that's fine. That defender, that's pretty good. I think he can fit in the system, no problem, because he's got a left foot and a right foot. That if he was only one-footed, then there might be a little bit of a problem. But because he's left foot and right foot, he can pass with both. Well, I think he'll be okay. He'll fit into the system. Yeah, a bit more of a traditional sort of centre back. He's grown quite a lot the last few years. Got taller, bigger. And that's not helped his injury record because of that. I keep going back to that. When you're going through that growth phase of that age, the bigger guys
and more meat, more problem.
More meat. Yep, you're gonna get injured. Bigger guys like that get injured a little bit more when they go through that growth phase. So I know he's been injured a lot, but hopefully he's over those because now his body's settled and he should be over those injuries, to be honest. So not too worried about it. There's a little bit there, but not too worried about it. So, but yeah, look, he wins. Look, look at the defensive actions, for example. He's a defender. He does play in Everton. Obviously, they defend a lot. They like to sit and defend, which helps a lot. But, with Everton being that low on the table, they were down next to relegation form for a lot of the season. They kind of won their last 3 or 4 games and they bounced a bit over Man United. And they overtook them in the last day, I think, or last couple of days. So they've only considered 44 goals throughout the season. I think that's the 3rd best or 4th best in the league, if I remember right. For Everton being down close to relegation, well, that's a good sign because at least, he defends well and they defend well, and he's been a major part of that. They defend very well. So look, he's a good signing. Is he a great signing? I wouldn't say great. He's a good signing though. Depends on how many people leave. If we need more defenders, if a lot of them leave, like Chalobah, Disasi, Barishil, if they all leave, then you probably need another one, and you need that profile probably. So yeah, I wouldn't mind him depending on price and like that. Salary won't be an issue. He's good friends with a lot of the players already as well, so he'll fit into the culture very well as well. And I do like the fact that when he was on loan at PSV, he did play right centre back there. So that just tells you he can play, because normally he plays left centre back, but he played there right centre back. So he's got that versatility. He can play left centre back, right centre back, and like I said, that's because he can use his left foot and right foot, so that helps a lot. But yeah, he's more of a sit back type of defender. He'll sit and defend a bit deeper, not really go out as much. So in a new system where there'll be a lot of ball possession and more where he has to push up the pitch a little bit, maybe there's a little worry there because he hasn't played in a system like that as much in the last couple of years. So little worry there, but as a good signing, he's a good signing, but not a great signing in my opinion. I think I would definitely sign Guehi over him, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. Even me, I'll rather go for Guehi than him. So Anapo, have you said anything about him, Braithwaite?
I think I already gave my opinion, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, thank you very much.
But in terms of Guehi, it's a tough one, because the thing with Guehi, he shows a bit of leadership. We've seen him the Euros, helping that England centre back, defense. So I don't know. It's a tough one. I wouldn't be, but I think I'm leaning more to Braithwaite because of I think he's very physical. I think coach said, old school traditional centre back. That's probably why I'd lean more to Braithwaite because of the different profile. Yeah.
Look at respect. Yeah, but I think eye test says a lot. But his stats according to data, MB data. So seems like Braithwaite is the more preferred one. But again, we need leaders. This is the only issue I'm having.
Yeah, he's up there. He's a big guy. So Ariel and Jules, yes, but that's those stats that he has to get. Those stats come about because he gets a touch on the ball, but doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that he doesn't defend his man well, because he knows how to put a body on his man, and that's why some of these stats are sometimes a little bit distorted, because that stat goes up as soon as you get a touch on the ball. But that stat doesn't show you that what happened after that, or where did that ball go, or what happened after that. So that's why some of the stats can be a little bit distorted. If you look at Guehi play, you look at Branfay play, yeah, he's gonna get more stuff on his head, but he also got beaten a lot of times. Guehi, look at the defensive actions. He's much higher in defensive actions, so he doesn't get beaten. Guehi, there's a big difference.
Yeah, and then Anopa says big up. Ty says big up Anopa. Safe says been a while. And Ty says 80 million for winning Conference League, so more money.
Yeah.
Says,
yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Why is everyone saying Liao? I'm so confused. Why is Liao everywhere? Is there something? I don't understand. I'm a little confused.
There may well, chances are there are. I don't know, really. But
yeah,
I choose not to believe it. If it becomes reality,
yeah, it seems like everyone likes Liao. So Javran Numal says up front, please add Ekitike, Gittings, Morgan, Rogers, and Liao. A lot of attacking players, bro. What about Astafan William? Where will he play? Okay, here they're talking to each other. Let's keep Chalaba in the club. He's available and experienced plus a good one of my favorite defensive players. But like we all said here, right? The only issue, will he play as a squad player, sit on the bench while the World Cup is coming soon next year? This is another issue. Taburani says another good defender to seriously consider is Zabani of Panama. Gila, who plays for some of top clubs in Italy. I think it's Lazio Gila. Do you know him, Coachila?
No, I don't know. I have to look at him. I haven't. Yeah, I don't know. When was the last time I watched Lazio? And it was because of Sarri that I watched them on that day. I was just doing something, and then I got a notice that's a game on. I checked.
Yeah, I've watched him. Let me add quickly to that. Yeah, I like him. I think Gila's a good option. He reminds me of a very like Azpilicueta when he was young. He's got that. He runs the same style, same similar body too. So maybe that's why as well. But he's got that fight in him. He's not a big guy, but just like Aspi, he wasn't a big guy, but he knows to put his body, defend, and he's extremely technical player. Like he's probably shouldn't even be a central defender, to be honest. He's that good on the ball. So I like him. I think he's really good, Gila.
Aspi wasn't the greatest on the ball.
Yeah. So no, he wasn't. No, but he was very safe on the ball, and you know how to pass the ball very well. So it just didn't have that technical ability, close control, dribbling, stuff like that. But he was very good. He was good at running the ball with the ball, progressing the ball, crossing the ball. Aspi was, for his position, that's all he needed in that system, and he had all that. Don't forget, Aspi was really a centre back, but he wasn't that big. So then he went to right back, can play left back in a back three. He was a centre back. So that's what Gila does as well. Very similar. He can play as a left back. He can play in the centre back. He can play a right back if he really needs to. He can go into the midfield. Very versatile as well. Can play on the left back if you need to in a back three. On the right centre back. So he's not a bad option, that Gila guy. I probably prefer. I like him a lot. I still would. He would be my number one option. But then Gila, I really like his profile, and I like that fight and that spirit he has in him that Aspi used to, how he played. He seems like that type of professional, like the ultimate professional, and I like that about players like that. So and he's a little bit more mature. I think he's 24 now, Gila. So a little bit of a late bloomer, but sometimes those, just like Aspi, you get him at that age. But that work rate and that hunger in him, that I see how he plays, I love the way he plays. So he's one that stood out to me in the Italian league when I watched some of their games. So I really like him.
Yeah, I know him as well, so I won't complain.
Man, I gotta run. I have to take my wife to the airport in a bit.
Okay,
don't fall
bro,
asleep, Coach. Don't fall asleep, please.
I won't.
Thank you, bro.
If I go now, I'll drink all of that coffee. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Take care.
If I come back early and Ty is on, I know. I don't know. If I come back on time and I'm having a job join. All right, thank you guys.
Just let the wife drive and you sleep on the way to the airport. Simple.
That works. All right.
Cheers, bro.
Take it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So anyway, let's move on to Gila. Since Anopa doesn't know him, you need to watch more Serie A, Anopa, because it seems like you like the EPL only. So
No,
anyway,
no. Wait, based of wait. Based of what? I need to know this.
of this player they mentioned, right?
It's common though.
Gila.
It's a very common thing that people do these days because they only watch the Premier League and then they only know the players from the Premier League. So when like a Gila comes up, like they would have no idea, but they see Brandthwaite because they know him because they see him in the Premier League all the time. So yeah, it is a little bit of a problem because a lot of people don't watch. It's fair enough. You don't have time. You don't have, you got a busy life. People have busy life. You're not going to watch every league in the world. So, but yeah, it's a little common theme I've noticed a lot. A lot of people do not know players out of the Premier League. Only like the really big stars they see it like the Euros or the World Cup, but the other players they have no idea who they are.
Yeah, that is true.
So Siaka says we as Chelsea fans are emotional today. We're happy tomorrow. We're angry. We angry day after we said least but not least. We are joyful. We are like a joystick of PlayStation or rather Xbox. Big up Jeff Segaven. Big up, bro. Big up, bro. Appreciate it.
Big up.
Says the Everton defender is too injury prone. Yes, 100%. Like even Mark is injury prone, but not more than Braithwaite. And then it says, guys, I miss Vince. His scarce. Let's talk about Vince who? Which one?
Vic?
On Coachella
No,
show.
Vic?
Oh, it says Vic or Vince.
Vic,
Okay,
from
where's
what I
that?
can see.
Vic. Oh, Vic.
I'm not sure which Vic he's referring to, though, so I'm not sure.
So anyway, let me share this. I like this player, but I don't think Chelsea will go for him. According to Mateo, says want to keep an eye on Xavi Simons, who might leave. Is one that I know Chelsea had a little look at. So what are your thoughts, Anopa, about Xavi Simons?
I've actually watched this player. I'll be real with you. He's one of those players. He reminds me of Nico Williams because the season prior to this one, both of them were actually amazing. And with Xavi Simons, he's kind of dipped off a bit. I don't think he's the profile that we need, if I'm being honest with you. I think we've got. Actually, wait, maybe I'm lying here because we've got in the attacking middle, we've got Palmer, and Kunku's probably leaving. Felix, I don't know what's happening with Felix here. So maybe he is a player we need, but I don't think it's a priority in my opinion. Yeah, that's what I have to say. But I like him. He's skillful, very unpredictable. He's more of a playmaker. But yeah, I also like him. But I don't see it happening, if I'm being honest with you. I think it's just one of those rumors we get linked to. But yeah, I like him. Good player.
Yeah, another thing, you need to pay 80 million release clause for him. So that's a lot, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Dante, what are your thoughts about him? You like the player?
Yeah, he's one of those that's been around for a while, actually. One of those young stars that's been around for a while since he's 18. He's kind of, been on the radar of a lot of big teams, PSG, and then went to Leipzig. They sold him there for bigger money. And yeah, he's been one of those young stars playing. He played for, Holland with the Netherlands. He started for them quite a lot as well. So quite a bit of experience for a young player. He's played a lot because he's only 22, as you can see there. And he's got a very bright future ahead of him. But yeah, he is, like Nopa says, he's more of a 10. He's more of that type of player. Second striker or a 10. He really took that in Nkunku's position quite when Nkunku left. Well. He took that position. Basically, he was the replacement player. So that second striker. So yeah, more of a second striker /10. Can play left, can play right. Winger, not seem that much as a winger, to be honest. Although he's quick because he's not that big, so he's quite light and quite not a really big guy. So he's got the speed, but yeah, 100% more of a 10 second striker for me. That's where he plays his best. exactly like Nkunku. Like I said, he took Nkunku's spot. So, look, I like him as well. I think he's very technical, quick feet, more of a creator as well. Scores goals as well, creator, but he needs that big guy up next to him in the front as well. So, yeah, he's not going to really play over Palmer, is he? We do have Felix coming back, but we have KDH that plays in that role as well. So, yeah, tough one for that price. You're not bringing in a player for $80 million to be a rotational piece.
Yes.
Yeah, if he leaves, even himself, if he leaves, he's going to go somewhere where he's a starter. He's one of the stars. So I don't see that happening either. I think it's just a rumor. Maybe his agent putting stuff out. He's been there a couple of seasons now already. He's got his prices at the highest it is now. So he's due for a big move. But who's going to pay that money these days? It's pretty hard these days. PSG are pretty loaded. So it's hard to see him going anywhere for that type of money, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. I don't think we are going to sign him. So, for all it says, it seems Sancho wages and I issue is complicated. I don't think he's staying. Yeah, man. I don't know. Like now the clubs are clever, to be honest, right? They just told him that, you know what, if you want to stay, we're going to pay the release clause for you, but you need to agree with our payment structure. If not, you're going to pay Manchester United 5 million for the loan back clause. So yeah, that's on him. The ball is on Sanchez actually. So wait and see.
Yeah, it's all on him, to be honest. Like, you're not going to pay the wages 300 or whatever it was at Man United. If he comes, he has to join his friends, his teammates, to the same wage structure they're on. And if he accepts that, well, he comes, incentivized contract. Come, perform, hit your targets. We do well as a team. You get paid. Do individual targets, you get paid even more. So he can earn that money, but we got to do well, and he has to do very well as well, because those contracts, that's how we're setting up the contract. So look, balls in his court, like exactly like Tebego said.
Yeah, I agree with you. So this says this according to
And he's good. He's a
Mr.
great squad
Dam.
player. I'd keep him 100%. He's a great squad player, and he doesn't complain. He doesn't need to be a starter. He doesn't complain. He doesn't mind being a rotational player, as you've seen. So he doesn't complain at all. He's a professional. He's valuable. He's probably our most technical winger that we have, as in with the ball at his feet, how quick he runs with the ball, how he turns. He's definitely our most technical player. Like, he's quick feet. But yeah, I think he will be a very, very valuable squad player, especially for the next season coming up with so many games.
100%. So according to Mr. Dums Smith, Chelsea are looking to sell Raul Sanchez. So Anopa, are you happy about this one?
100%. You throw a party based off this. No purple patch of the last few games of the season is gonna fool me. I know who he is. This man, he's an imposter, and he needs to go. And now we need to look at who we can get back, because, like I said to you earlier, I can't believe we let Kelleher get away for 18 million. He is a proper second choice goalkeeper. I think he could have started for us as well. You see how many times Kelleher has pulled up crazy saves against us?
So why would we sign 18 million for a second choice goalkeeper when we have already Petrovic coming back and Jorgensen? That doesn't make sense.
Okay, now here's my question. When I really want this to happen, if Petrovic comes back, I need him to play, because I didn't even initially understand why he got sold, because it's weird. I don't know if you guys noticed. Maresca said that the reason for Petrovic not staying, well, I don't know if it was the board of Maresca, but it was because of the style of play. Because I think as a fan base, we agree that Petrovic did a job when he was called to come in and play. Now, when Sanchez has been in goal this season, I've seen a lot of kicking the ball away, far away. And yes, fair enough, there's been criticism from Stamford Bridge, like the fans, obviously putting pressure on the goalkeeper by booing or, shouting at the goalkeeper when he has the ball. So we're not playing from the back anymore when with Robert Sanchez. He just kicks the ball to the high pitch of the field, and then obviously Nicholas Jackson's not going to contest for that. So if Petrovic comes back, he better come and play, not just to get sold, So if Petrovic is to be coming back, I'm happy. Then that's fine. But I still think Sanchez has to go. Unfortunately, we can't have this guy as a number one, especially now because we've done the experimenting. We've seen enough games. Over all the games we've seen, he's not good enough. He's had his moments, but please, goodbye. Thank you for what you've done, but please leave my club, respectfully.
Dante, your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, look, I'm not his biggest fan either, but you got to give him props and credit. He played the last 6 or 7 games, really, really top level. He didn't make a mistake, so he did very well. Now, is that like Anopa says? Is that just him trying extra hard to impress? We still know he's got he's got errors in him, but yeah, look, he still was one of the highest save percentages I think in the Premier League. In Europe as well, he was quite up there as well. So he is a very good shot stopper. His high claiming is pretty good because he's a very tall goalkeeper. So he's got that attribute, which Petrovic not that good at, to be honest. Jorgensen's not too bad at it, but again, he's nowhere near as good as Sanchez at it because they don't have that height. So he's got that. But look, yeah, I think he probably is looking to leave after the abuse he copped from fans this season, especially during games at Stamford Bridge. I would not be surprised if he wants to leave himself. He wants to go. So, yeah, in my opinion, that's what's happening. Otherwise, we probably would have kept him. I think if he does leave, he wants to leave. He probably doesn't want that abuse anymore. And can you blame him when people at your home ground abusing, throwing stuff at you, and just all game just abusing you and telling you screaming out obscenities? And we know a lot of the bad stuff they say. So you can imagine behind the goal what stuff he gets told because he's right there next to the fans all the time. So can you blame him? I can't blame. If he wants to leave and he can't handle that and it's too much, well, I don't blame him, to be honest. Yeah, look, I don't mind him going either, like I said, because I think he's still got that IQ problem under pressure moments. So, but is he a solid keeper? He's actually a pretty solid keeper. He's not a bad keeper, to be honest. So either way, I'm okay with it. If he stays, I'm okay. I think he deserved that a little bit, much better the last 10 games. But yeah, it will depend on Petrovic, what they do at this Club World Cup pre-season, what they do and who Maresca season chooses. We did talk about Petrovic a bit earlier. Yes, he's improved with the ball at his feet, but he's still not nowhere near as good as Jorgensen, say, for example. It's a different, the way he played at the back from Strasbourg, and Tebega knows this, it's not the same of the intensity when you play in the Premier League. Teams won't press you exactly the same. He did play out, the numbers are good, but those numbers again are a little bit obscured because it's a lot of safe passing, a lot of passing around when there's not much pressure on you. Has he still improved? He still has improved a lot, and that's the reason why he left in the first place, because that wasn't one of his strengths. So yeah, look, he'll get a go. He comes back. Petrovic will get a go. They'll all get a go. And whoever wins the spot, wins the spot. And Maresca will make a decision if he wants another keeper or not. But I doubt it very much we're buying another keeper. Even if Sanchez leaves, I think we're not buying another goalkeeper.
Yeah, personally, like you said, I don't think we should buy another goalkeeper. Like, we wasted a lot of money on goalkeepers. We should have went for Mike Manny at that time or Diego Costa. But bro, you wasted a lot of money, so it doesn't make sense. Also, if Gagas Lonina there, we need to sell him as well. So it's still
Mike Penders as well is coming up with a lot of upside. Very young talent goalkeeper. So
I like that goalkeeper.
Yeah, so we've got talent there. So yeah, it all depends what will happen. Like I said, if Sanchez might just want to leave by himself, I wouldn't be very surprised at that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So let me read some comments before go to the next one. Says, it seems like, okay, I've saw that. It says, okay, they're talking to each other here. Says Jadon Sanchez is on 250,000 a week, and on his last year, and God, feeling Jadon Sanchez will stay. Let's see what will happen. Says Fab being quiet in a minute. Man, I don't care about Fabrizio Romano. Just give us the news. That we will be happy. Since goalkeeper is out of my club, funny dude. I don't know who he's talking to.
I think Anopa. Just the way Anopa said it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Let me tell you guys, the one time when I really, really was frustrated with Sanchez, I don't know if you remember under Poch when we were beating Arsenal 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. We were leading Arsenal, contenders at our own home ground, and he just decides, hey, Declan Rice, let me pass the ball straight to you, and you can get Arsenal back into the game. That's when I knew I disliked Sanchez. That day was the day.
Yeah, that game we should have won, man. But it's what under the bridge now. Let's not dwell on that. But I agree with you. We need to sell him.
Yeah, 100%.
We need to sell him. So anyway, let's read this. According to Jacob Stenbeck, Wesley Fofana fitness problems mean that suitable offers for him will be hard to turn down. Yeah, personally, like I said, I like Wesley Fofana, but since he's having these injury issues, no, it's better to sell him. It's better to sell him because we spend a lot of money on him and it's not available. So, what are your thoughts about this?
Oh man, it's sad with Fofana, man. Honestly, because I remember when he first signed him under Bowley, I was like, this is one of those centre backs that we needed. But even before we signed him, I think people were concerned about the injury, like way before. And yeah, unfortunately, when he gets injuries, they're bad. It's not like with Reece James. Yes, sometimes they're bad, but then you'll have a spell where he's in and he's out. But with Fofana, he's gone for long. Mostly season-ending injuries. Look, I think he's got a very high ceiling. But these injuries are it's too much for us to bear with. So I don't think it's someone we can rely on. But look, I don't even know who even buys him with this injury record because it's so risky to purchase him. So he's probably going to stay. But yeah, I think on his day he's a very good centre back. So yeah, hopefully the injuries get better. Well, his body treats the injuries better, and yeah, hopefully he can have a good at least like 25 games next season, at least something like that. Because we still need him. We can't just be letting him. I'm sure he's one of those players who's getting paid a lot of
Yes.
money in our club, right? It's the wage structure. He came but also yeah, that's another problem. So yeah, he needs to stop playing games at least 20, 25, not what he's doing now.
Dante, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, he's on 200,000 a week, so he's one of the higher earners. Yeah, look, I mean, we bought him for a record defender then, so we bought him 74 million pounds, I think it was. So it was a record signing. So yeah, look, problems with injury. I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately, he's been his whole career so far. At Chelsea, he's been injured a lot. One upside, he's still quite young, so he's only 24, so he's not really that old, so he can get past those injuries. But he is very good when he's available. Can be a bit of inconsistent, but that's because he's never really had a real go at it, as in consistent games in a row to actually. So we actually know that it's not because of that. So yeah, look, the talent is there. His technical ability to keep the ball, to shield the ball, to pass forward, to run with the ball, progressive play. He's very good. He's top level, so he's very good at that. Defensive wise, he's not the best defender, to be honest. I think he's still got a lot of work to do on that. He's a bit rash. He jumps out a lot, gets a lot of yellow cards. He's quite aggressive. He's an aggressive sort of defender, which is not bad in the Premier League to have. But yeah, look, it says they're a suitable offer. Well, I can tell you now there will be no suitable offers for Wesley Fofana from any club because, like an Oppa said, he hasn't played. He's been injured. Salary is high, and it will have to be a crazy offer for us to take it. And no one's paying any money for him, to be honest. I don't see anyone paying, probably not even close to what we bought him for. Not even close, probably. So even probably now, they probably wouldn't even play probably 30 million pounds. I don't think anyone will pay for him, to be honest. Not until they see that he plays a little bit, and maybe then puts a run of games together, maybe then. But it'll be very, very hard to move him. So yeah, look, I think he'll stay, and I think he'll get another season. I think he's got 2 more years, 20 to 27. So he's got 2 more years on his contract, I think. If I'm not sure, Tobago, if you know, but I think he's got a couple of more years on his contract. So I mean, you know, you give him next year, and then he's basically got 1 year left. So then there's options to actually move him, or you know, whatever, as he stays and his contracts run down, or loan or whatever. So yeah, I think he stays. And look, when he was fit and playing this season, when he did get a little bit of I think he played 5 or 6 games in a row before he went down again. He looked pretty good with Colwell. He did a good job. He was quite solid and that's when we were winning at the start. So he's got it in him to do it. But yeah, we need to see his fitness has got to improve. And we kept joking about it with coach and on Chelsea perspective. I kept saying the way he runs his legs. And coach was KK leg, and I'm like, what's KK leg? I didn't know. So coach had to explain it. I'm not sure if you guys know. I know Tobago knows. I'm not sure if you know or not, but he's got the KK legs. Yeah, he's got the KK legs. From when I played when I was young, I know I had a teammate that had the KK legs, and he was always injured. So I joked about it. I'm like, this was 2 years ago, by the way. I'm like, he's always going to be injured, this guy, and that's exactly what's happened. So I don't know why the experts did not see that one coming, but yeah, that was something funny we joked about. Probably not too funny because it's an injury player, but I couldn't help it. Every time I see him play running like that with his legs, it's pretty funny, to be honest.
Yeah, a question for you, Dante. Are you ready for the Club World Cup?
Yeah, we're ready. Look how we finished the season, the last 6-7 games. I mean, that shows you that the mentality is there. The players know their roles a little bit better. They've really, taken to that. So I think it's a good time now. It's good that it's coming first, not pre-season and then Club World Cup. I actually think it's good. It's around the corner now. So it's only, 10 days away. So, yeah, I think it's probably good timing for us, to be honest. The players will still be quite fit, quite up. It's not the start of pre-season. So, it's not towards the back end of a pre-season. So, or, they have like, a month off and then they go to pre-season. Then they're a bit out of shape in that. It's a quick turnaround. So that will help. The players will be ready for sure. So I don't think it's a problem at all. No, it's just, some of the teams in the group there, they're not very good, not very tough. So you will see probably a lot of squad players play in, I think, a couple of those games. But yeah, I see us being ready, and I see no problem getting out of that group.
100%. So, Anapa, to you also, are you happy? I mean, I'm sorry about it. Are you ready for the Club World Cup as well?
I'm actually very excited because usually most fans are saying, oh, Premier League, I mean, we have to wait 3 months to watch our club again and everything. I don't see this as a friendly. I think this is a very serious competition we can actually try and win. The prize money is also massive, so we can try get
exactly the money.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it was 1 billion, right? That for total,
especially advancing like first in the group and from the group next. Like it's a big difference in money too, so they will take it a lot more serious. Yeah.
100%, and our group is actually not one of the hardest ones compared to the other groups I've seen. So, yeah, we should definitely take it serious. We get to see Delap there. Let's see what he can do. We can try experiment with Santos as well. So I'm happy. I'm very happy to be in this competition. And you know what? Like the only team I'm really afraid of that could really batter us is probably PSG, Bayern. I think we could probably beat them. Real Madrid is going to be interesting to see how we play against them. So if we do get them, so yeah, I'm very excited. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, 100%. So we have the news says Nicholas Jackson's future will be up in the air if 2 strikers arrive. So, Anna, what are your thoughts about this? Do you think if we sign Ekitike, we should sell Nicholas Jackson?
Yeah, I think we do. I really think we do because, it's crazy. It changed so quick with Nicholas Jackson. I remember there's always 2 sides. There was the fan base who was saying no, but he's good on the ball and he still provides to us. And then there's the other sides who said no, we need someone who can finish his chances and everything. Until that Newcastle red card, and I think that's when fans realized no, we need to sell this guy. And it's sad because at the beginning of the season, the way he started was actually, I thought it was going to be a very, very good season for him, and got injured, and then he just went back to the usual Jackson we saw from last season, missing chances, bad touches. I mean, look at the Conference League final. I mean, that breakaway sums everything up. Even I think I was telling you before, even I thought he headed the ball, and then you see the replay, he didn't even head it. I mean, he's very clumsy. He has good good things about him that I do like and admire. But I mean, look, if we get Ekitike, then I think we sell him, in my opinion. That's how I see it.
Dante,
Yeah, and let's not forget Omega signed the contract, so he'll be here next season as well. So that's really a third striker if that comes. So look, I personally don't see us signing another striker this window, unless that was my thing. Unless Jackson there's plans to him to move on. I don't know if the club would plan to move him on. To be honest, I think he will still stay. I think it's only if he wants to leave, he'll probably leave. But I don't see us leaving. I mean, he was the face of the Conference League on their thing, so they were promoting him, pushing him. So I don't see that happening. Them selling him. I think they will still keep him. Let's not forget, he's not on high wages or anything. He wasn't expensive, so there's no real rush to sell him. You keep that. You keep your options, having more options, and he can play out wide. He can play as a second striker if you want. He can play and a two up front as well. If we need to attack a bit more or break down something or we're behind, well then you can go that option as well. So look, I don't mind him staying, to be honest. I think that might even take a bit of pressure off him. He's not the main guy anymore. There's not that big massive pressure on him, and then you might actually see him improving because of that as well. So it can go either way, though. It can go downhill as well, but it can go uphill as well. So it just depends. But I don't see the club selling him, and I don't really see anyone really buying him. I mean, do you guys see anyone really spending the money on him? I don't know if you probably can, because like I said, he wasn't expensive, but I'm not sure where he would go, to be honest, either. He seems pretty happy at Chelsea still. I think I saw that in the dressing room when he won, after the celebrations and that.
yeah,
He's very happy still. He doesn't look like a player that's got on his mind to leave. So I don't think he'll leave. I think he still stays. I just don't see it happening, to be honest.
yeah. Personally,
Not now anyway. If he does, it will probably be in January or the next season if he does leave. Because it's not working out. But otherwise, no, I don't see him leaving. No.
Personally, Dante, you know what I will do? I said it several times. Valencia, Villarreal, he was playing as a winger before they convert him to a striker due to the fact that they had injuries, right? And Chelsea, yes, Chelsea signed him to play as a striker. But we can also forget about Sancho Gittings, then put Nicholas Jackson that side, and we buy another striker. Problem solved. Why not?
Yeah. Look, and he wasn't bought to be the main striker. He wasn't bought to be number one. He was bought to be number two. And Nkunku was supposed to be that guy. So, he took over because Nkunku got injured, and then obviously Nkunku just wasn't good enough to take his spot back. But he wasn't actually bought to be the number one striker. That was always supposed to be Nkunku, unfortunately, but it just hasn't worked out. So he automatically took over. So that extra pressure on him, and he's a very talented player in transition. He's very good. Hold up play is link up play is extremely good.
So good.
So he's very good at that. He plays well with Palmer. You saw how much Palmer struggled when he wasn't there. He couldn't play that link up with the striker and then run off the striker. So he's still important the way we play. Maresca likes Jackson. He said it many times. That's his type of striker that he likes to use. So look, I don't see him leaving. No, I think if he only leaves, he'll leave because he's not getting enough game time and not happy maybe, and that will be in January or the next season. But no, I don't see him leaving now, to be honest. I don't see the club, unless a ridiculous offer comes around, someone wants him, say Newcastle want him as with Isaac, and they want to pay like £40 million for him, or 50 million, then they'll probably entertain it. But otherwise, I don't see that happening. No.
Yeah, 100%. I don't see that happening. So Richmond Maker says, remember, guys, it's hard to sell players when they win a trophy. And also says Nicholas Jackson scored the winner in the cup final. Sorry, Arsenal fans. Yeah,
not quite the winner, but yeah.
Yeah, he's just salty there. So I think this is the last item, guys. So Chelsea to announce signing of Delap from Ipswich Town from complete Chelsea to announce signing of Liam Delap from Ipswich after he completes his medical today. Chelsea want him in their squad for the Club World Cup. We start in a fortnight. So just to round it off, Dante, what are your thoughts about Liam Delap? Do you think he'll do well at Chelsea?
Yeah, I actually do think he'll do very well. I think he gets in all those positions that Jackson can't get into, and when he does, he's fearless. He'll put his head on the ball. Yeah, he's good in the air, strong. So I think he'll score quite a good number of goals, and it's competition for Jackson 100%. I think competition and might even start over Jackson, to be honest. Especially, look, they'll use him probably if another striker doesn't come in, if it's just Jackson and him. I think Jackson's, he'll still play quite a lot of games, but more games that are open transition where will come against low blocks. Well, then you need to play Delap because Jackson is horrible against low blocks. It doesn't suit that at all. And if you look at his numbers against low blocks, you'll know that he's hardly ever scores or does absolutely nothing in this game. So Liam Delap, on the other hand, is very good at that. Even though Ipswich don't really play like, they on the transition a lot, but I've seen him for England and the youth levels, and before Man City, he was very comfortable against low block, no problem at all, because he's got that physicality. So I think he'll do very well in those games, and I think we got a striker that can do that and come on in situations like that. But he also has that link-up play, and he also has that transitional play, and he's very good on the counter-attack and in transition, and can link up and can hold up the ball extremely well. He can shield the ball extremely well to run off him, which Jackson is not quite as good at doing. So, yeah, look, he's got all the physical attributes, the ball striking, everything prototype sort of striker in the Premier League you're looking at having. He's got that. So I think it was a no-brainer, this one. For 22-year-old and for £30 million, salary won't be high. That high either. I think it was a no-brainer business-wise, but also football-wise, and I think he'll be quite a big hit. You'll see him scoring a lot of tap-ins. The ones that Jackson misses, he'll score a lot of those. He'll get his head onto a lot of them that Jackson couldn't. He'll get his foot on a lot of them that Jackson couldn't. He plays hard like that. So, like I said, he's fearless. He always gives it 110% every game. So I see him being pretty successful, in my opinion. Yeah, I see him really suiting us the way we play. Plus, of course, he knows the system well. He knows Maresca well. He knows Palmer well. He knows Sancho well. He knows he's already really good friends with a lot of these guys. So he fits the culture perfectly as well. So that's a big tick as well.
Yeah, and then Richmond Mika says, I can tell you for a fact that we wouldn't have signed Liam Delap if we didn't get the Champions League football. Bro, it's like, I understand with you. All players want to play in the UCL. So it's so very important for a big club like Chelsea always compete there, fighting for the Champions League spot. So I'm glad Manchester United failed to win the Europa League so that we can get one of their targets. It's so nice, man. Anopa, what are your thoughts about Liam Delap before we wrap it up, guys?
I just like that. First of all, I think it's a good signing. Very good bargain for me. 30 million, not a lot of risk. I love how he's physical. He's, again, traditional 9 in terms of physicality and aggressiveness. And I've seen he's gotten into a couple of arguments with players. Reminds me a bit of Diego Costa.
Yeah, he fights the defenders a lot. Yeah,
look at these guys. 12 yellow cards. He fits very well.
I was gonna say he gets a card every game nearly, but yeah.
Yeah, so he's definitely on that side of causing hassle with centre backs. The one thing I do like is that now that when we do have kick the balls from the goalkeeper all the way to the top of the end of the field, at least now someone can contest the ball. That's so refreshing to see that we don't have to know. Because I'll be honest with you, when Sanchez was kicking the ball up to Jackson, I knew that there was no point of even looking because the other team was going to get the ball. But now there's a bit of a chance. There's going to be a tussle. There's going to be a fight, and he probably can bring it down and lay it off to the wingers, and that can change many games for us now because we've got more possession and we can now create more chances based off that fact now. So I'm happy about that, and I think let's see what he can do with heading. I hope he can head the ball.
He's very good in the air. Yeah, he's good in the air. Yep.
So I see that's a good thing to hear because most of the headers we give, let's say with Neto, him crossing the ball into the box, it's those close, close type of headers that it's not. You don't have to really, you just have to generate a lot of power on the headers, and then you'll score basically. And I think he can do that. So I'm very excited for him. Yeah, and like let's see what he does in the Club World Cup. And yeah, I'm very very excited for the striker. Can't wait to see him play.
Yeah, and then he says he played well in a crap Ipswich Town. I like this striker. He makes goals for himself. 100%. He really do that. So overall,
that's
guys,
a great point. He makes a lot of the goals. There was a lot of goals he scored for. He created them by himself, because he really didn't have that creative players at Ipswich to create for him. But now he's going to have that creation for him as well. So that really should take him to the next level, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Now it seems like we moved on from buying Brighton players to Manchester City players. Oh my gosh.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not the best thing. Did you see on X? Fans are complaining right now. Oh man, Jesus Christ.
Look, they shouldn't be complaining. I mean, the players we've signed from them, they're all been really good players. So we took us basically a superstar player off them. So, and let's not forget, Man City's owner, he invested a lot of money. He brought those boys when they were young for money from other clubs and really developed them. Like that was one of his aims, to like throw a lot of money into the youth team to get these players up. And you see the crop that came through, they've all been very good players because of that investment from the Man City owner into the youth teams. So yeah, look, it's not a bad way to get players from there. They're all very talented players that come through. Like I said, that he basically collected, like Chelsea, they were overpaying for really young players, a lot of them, and they're really putting them together like that as well. So some didn't make it, but most of them made it, and most of them are still at Man City. Some of them are. So yeah, there's no shame in that at all. These are very talented players. So yeah, like I said, Man City's academy is top notch. They're going to be creating a lot of players because the money that's been invested there.
Exactly. So Richmond Miguel says a lot of experts says he's the next Hurricane. Well, now he's at Chelsea. Give us the next Hurricane. I would love that. And then his question says, do you think we should renew Marco Cucurella's contract? Anopa, what is that?
No, I think it's time for Cucurella now. I think he's been a good servant for us, but I think we need to move on and get a better. I'm joking.
Really?
I'm 100%. I'm joking. No, we need to 100%. I think he's one of those players that he's unlucky that he didn't win Player of the Season. I think he's just right behind Caicedo. I'm very proud, because I remember when we first signed him, people were saying that he may be good at defending or inverting, but he's not good at getting goals or assists. But now the way he just gets into the box so many times, saving us, he's a threat. I mean, imagine saying Cucurella is your biggest aerial threat. Have you seen how his height? So fair enough. I'm happy with him. He's only going to get better from now, hopefully. So 100% renew his contract, 100%.
And funny thing about Marco Cucurella, when we play against like wingers that we know they're going to give us a problem, oh my gosh, it's going to piss them off so that they won't do anything against him. Saka
100%.
and Anthony, right? Yeah, Anthony at the final. What did Anthony do at the final? He was just fighting with Enzo Fernandez. That's it. So this guy is so good.
Everyone he's come up against, he shut down all the best wingers in the world. Let's not forget that includes in the Euros as well. So he's probably the best left back, if not the best 2 or 3 left backs in the world, 100% by far. So I don't think, do we need to renew his contract? Why is that even a question, to be honest? I think he's got a contract. He's still got 3-4 years left on his contract, 3 years, and he's on a pretty big wage. I don't see why I don't think they're going to renew his contract. Is that some news I missed, or what's that about?
No news. No news.
Okay.
Just asking a question.
Okay. No, well, there's no point renewing his contract. He's going to get bonuses anyway in that contract for scoring goals and stuff for a defender, and Champions League. That's going up 20% his salary. So he's on £175 per week, I think. So he's already on a big salary, and that's going to go up 20%. So, and winning as well a cup in his contract, in the older contracts, they've got big bonuses for that. So yeah, look, money wise, he'll be happy. I don't see him renewing with us. I don't. I think he's gonna, these next 3 years, 2 years, I do see him. He will end up going back to Spain. I can see that happening. Unfortunately, I think he will, because that's what these players do. They'll end up, if Barcelona come calling or someone like that, I think he'll go. He'll definitely go. I don't think he would stay, because they all do that. It's just the way it is. Plus business as well. A lot of money, of course. We'll get money for him, and plus that, he'll have a massive salary there if he does go there. And plus, his life, his family, they're all Spanish. He said that a lot. He misses Spain quite a lot. I said every interview they they go there as much as they can. So yeah, look, I don't see him renewing a contract with us. I think with the 3 years left, I think we'll probably get those 3 years, unless of course we are super, super successive. I mean, we win Champions League and everything, maybe then. But if we don't, I definitely see him in those 3 years, probably in those 3 years' time, he'll probably go back to Spain, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And there's nothing wrong with that, to be honest. I wouldn't hold it against him, to be honest. I think it's fine.
Yeah, 100%. Rich money makers, please go away. Do we take Sterling back? Go away, bro.
Well, we have to take him back, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Sterling.
Where does he go?
Sterling will be training with the under fives if he does come back. That's where Maresca will pull him. You know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Maresca will chuck him with the kids if he comes back, because Maresca's not going to take his bullshit after what he did when he left. So even the owners, of course, the owners as well, wouldn't let that happen. So yeah, he's coming back, but he's going to be. He will. I don't see him back with the actual team playing or training. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, 100%. So, guys, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it, Dante, Anopa, Coachella, Rich Money Makers. We had Chelsea Session, Numalo, Siaka, South Africa, Fawala. We had so many people on the chat, guys. So, please kindly subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel. Up the Charles. See you guys on Friday. Peace.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.